bring our special guest. I don't know if you guys know this. Hopefully you are aware of this. This powerful woman of God was with us tonight. She was with us last night, and she was with us tonight. She's done a phenomenal job leading us into the presence of God. Can we welcome to the after party stage none other than Tiffany Boone? Yes. God bless you, Tiffany. God bless you. Listen, you did an outstanding job both nights. Both nights. If y'all missed last night or this night's praise and worship, you need to make sure you go back. Now listen, when you go back and watch it, you make sure you got to move your coffee table because she's gonna have you doing your dance.
Yes, listen, we were under an open heaven.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, it was just the glory of God in the building as you sung.
Bless the Lord.
Yes.
Wow, it was an honor for me to be here. Thank you all so much for the invitation.
Absolutely.
I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the atmosphere. The presence of the Lord is definitely here, not because I came, but because you all rest in the presence of the Lord. So it was an honor for me to be here.
Yes.
Absolutely. So Tiffany, we got a couple questions for you. Maybe we call this the exclusive after party, exclusive interview. So we're going to ask you some stuff, allow you to share with our audience maybe some stuff that they don't know about you. So how long have you been doing praise and worship? How did you get your start?
Wow. Well, let me say that my father is a bishop, so I've been in church all my life.
Really? Okay.
For me, that's the start. And just along the way, teachings, being subliminally mentored, just watching other people. My brother was actually my first worship leader.
Wow.
And I kind of just learned under
Is that
him.
TC or your? Okay, TC Boone. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he was our first worship leader. And I was always on the praise team. And Dr. J. Terrell was a person that kind of sought me out when I went to Beulah Land Bible Church, where Dr. Maurice Watson was the pastor. And I said, "You sure you want me to lead worship?"
Wow.
Because all I was an energetic singer.
Right.
And he was like, "No, I picked you." It was I was 1 out of 4. So we had a Sunday out of the 4 Sundays of the month, and I didn't even realize that was the journey that God had me on. And because I was into it, I don't like to commit to anything that I know I'm not going to be all the way in.
Right, me too. I'm the same way.
And so because he thought of me, I started watching Dr. Judith McAllister. And that's kind of how I got my training subliminally. So, and today we're here.
And my God, you've been trained. You did a phenomenal job. Now, where do you minister? Do you minister somewhere week? I know, because I watch y'all like when I tell you, I be watching them every single week. So when they told me that you would come out, I say, yes. Yes.
Wow.
I feel like we be together every week anyway.
Where?
So tell the people that don't know, tell them where you minister at.
Where? I minister every week at our New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. Dr. Jamal Harrison Brown. That's my pastor. And Jonathan is my mentor now, Jonathan Nelson. So
we got a lot of people that's going to watch this live now and going to watch it later. They aspire to use their singing gift for God. What kind of advice or encouragement would you give them?
I love this question. And my answer is always consistently, don't rush the process. Don't rush your journey. Social media has made it so easy for us to, and it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. When you look at a 30-second clip that somebody has put on because that was their, they felt like their greatest moment. But a lot of the times we don't know what the backstory is that allowed that great moment to happen for those 30 seconds. So stay on your face. If you stay on your face, God will keep you on your feet. I was always a person who felt like I had to seek out my own engagements, and I didn't realize the anointing on my life. My gift was going to make room for me. Your gift will make room. So because of that, you don't have to rush. If you're anointed, you're going to always be anointed. And if God has you hidden, that's a great thing because then you're in development mode. So, I wouldn't rush wanting to always be out front or wanting to always be seen. I'm the type of person, I'm always running to the back.
Really? Got you.
But, God ends up like, no, you're supposed to be out in the front. But you just stay humble, stay on your face, pray, but don't rush the process. Where God has you, you're there for a reason. And eventually that reason will show up.
Now, that's amazing. We want to use that statement to segment into this. Tell the people, because you have an incredible story, y'all. She has an incredible story how she ended up at New Birth. Can you tell the people how you ended up, and what you just said, not rushing it, just doing step by step, being in the will of God. You wasn't sinning, not saying something's wrong with that if God gave you a plan, but she's just bringing the balance with it. Tell them the incredible story
Wow.
of how you ended up at New Birth with Jonathan Nelson and Dr. Jamal Bryant.
Well, I was ministering with J.J. Hairston for the entire year of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my prayer was, God, I don't want to be hopping from place to place.
Yeah.
I want to be solid somewhere. I want to learn. I want to receive ministry in the word. I want to be who I'm supposed to be in the ministry.
Okay.
And so a little bit of that year, I ended up homeless.
Okay.
Ended up living in my car.
2018.
Yes.
Okay.
I went and got a membership at Planet Fitness just to be able to take showers because I didn't want anyone to know that was my story at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so at the end of that year, I prayed. I said, Lord, at the end of this year, I want to be where I'm supposed to be. So I was thinking that there was going to be a church that we were going to go to and minister with J.J. Harrison that was going to pick me up.
Wow.
That didn't happen.
Wow.
Dr. Bryant reached out to me in my Instagram stories and was like, hey, where are you ministering at? And I said, nowhere consistently.
On instant.
Instagram.
Listen, y'all not
Instagram.
understanding. It's not a
Instagram.
previous connection
That's
or
right.
a previous contact. Dr. Jamal reached out in
Yeah.
her by way of messaging her with her
Yes.
Instagram story.
Social
Go ahead.
media.
That's right.
Yes. Yes.
So keep your pages public.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you never know who's watching.
And this is important as well, and I tell my daughters them, you know, when I'm not real old, but back in the day, you have to wait for somebody to provide a platform for you. But
That's
now
right.
with social media, you can create your
Your
own
own.
platform. If God gave you a gift,
That's
you
right.
can just use that as your own. And you know, a lot of people just put up vacation pictures, and all,
Right,
ain't
right.
nothing wrong with that. But God has
That's your
provided
digital
you-
resume.
Absolutely,
That's your resume.
Yes.
And you was using that platform for the gift of God.
Yes.
That's right.
And boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure we're clear. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, but that was how it was. He asked me, was I ministering anywhere? I said, no, not consistently. And I was very strategic with the way I responded to him. I said, nowhere consistently. So that didn't mean that I don't minister.
That's
I'm
right.
just not somewhere at one
Wow.
spot all the
All
time.
the time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he received it with the same intention.
That was good.
He understood what I was
Awesome.
saying without me
Yes.
saying it.
Right.
Yes.
And so my first Sunday, there was a fourth Sunday, December 2018. And I even, after that moment, I said, Lord, this cruise ship is too big. If you do not want me here, I will not be mad at you.
Y'all got a big
Acknowledge
operation.
It is a
God.
huge.
Yes.
I went in there and you could still feel the presence of Bishop Eddie Long.
Okay.
When you walk through the hallways,
Wow.
you can
Yeah.
feel it. I
Right.
said, Lord, as bad as I know, I don't.
Right.
If it's too big for me, I don't want it.
Right.
And then eventually in January, he said, leave your bags at the door. That's what Dr. Bryant told me.
Come on.
He said, leave your bags at the door. And then eventually, he brought us on, Jonathan and myself on.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Beautiful.
such
It's
an
still
incredible
exciting to
story.
talk about.
That
Yes.
is. And you said
Can
with
you believe
18,
it?
that's 5 years.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
that long.
When you're in the will of God.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Following God's
It feels,
plan.
and every time I go, because of how Dr. Bryant is on stage and off stage, he's
Okay.
always challenging us.
Okay.
Don't, right now you're good, but there's
Right.
always great
Okay.
after that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
don't get complacent. You know,
Yeah.
you're doing well, but still keep reading books.
reaching.
Yeah,
Wow.
keep reaching people.
Keep growing.
Keep
Yes.
growing.
Grow-
Right,
yes.
right.
Developing.
While we're mentoring, still receive mentorship. You know,
Okay.
mentoring.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's been a blessing. It never gets boring. It never gets old.
Y'all be doing it, though.
It's just because he's always challenging us
And he
to
looks
do
like he
something
allows
better.
you guys to be yourself.
Very much freedom.
Right.
Very freedom
Yeah.
over there.
Very diverse ministry.
very
It's
much
it's
so.
definitely encouraging.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, that is.
Yeah.
You had to define the difference between a singer and a praise and worship leader.
That's a good
Because
question.
a lot of people can sing.
Yeah.
I sing a little bit myself.
Yeah.
But they ain't called to lead praise and worship.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, I feel like they get it mixed up. Some people sing, and then if you find somebody that can sing, all of a sudden you're trying to make them a praise and worship leader.
Right. Right.
So what is the difference, if you, in your own words, how could you define it?
If I had to choose one word, I would say relationship. If I had to choose one word, I would say relationship, because just like it's easy, I've heard it's easy to praise, but you have to be special to worship to understand how to worship.
that's
So
good.
being
Everybody
a singer,
qualifies to praise. Let
right.
everything that have breath.
Yeah. But
Right.
worship, that's relationship.
That is
That's
relationship.
That's my father walking in the door, and no one, even if my father was in a room speaking, I know his voice because we have relationship.
So you worship from a place of relationship.
Of who he is. And it's personal. So everybody's worship identity isn't the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now unpack that just for a moment.
Because
just
I think we abuse people because they aren't as emotional as we perceive for them to be.
The response.
The response.
Okay.
But like I said, I think either tonight or last night, a person can be sitting down. That can be their response in worship.
They could be
because
having their whole
sometimes,
heart open.
and it's that still small voice
Right.
that we miss because we're so boastful, and there's nothing wrong with it. But
Right.
sometimes you got to be still so you can hear him from a different way, in a different place. So
Yeah.
Be
relationship
still
and
know that
Yes.
I
be still
am
and know. And sometimes you don't know because you aren't still.
I was about, you took it from, that's how I
Keep
say.
moving.
Sometimes be still and know. You won't know until you be still.
right.
Shama, shama, shama,
Yeah.
shama.
Yes.
Sometimes we're moving a lot, emotions loud. Just be still.
That's
Just be
strong.
still. Yeah.
Tiffany, God bless you.
I
We speak
appreciate
blessings
you
on your
all.
ministry.
Yes.
Miosha, did you have anything else? We don't want to.
No,
we don't want to hold up. See, we hold up. We're gonna have to talk to the finance team again and say, Robert interviewed me for 30 minutes. I need to return my.
But I do want to make this comment because what I say and when I see an
No,
anointed,
Miosha, I think come close. I think
I
the
see
team is telling me we're getting
when
out the
I
frame.
when I
Okay.
see an anointed worship leader such as yourself, it's I know that, like you said, it's about relationship.
Yeah.
And I know that you worship him
Yeah.
before you come before the people
Wow.
to worship.
Wow. Yeah.
So you can't lead people where you haven't been.
Right.
So it's just a blessing
Yeah.
to see that anointing.
It'll almost be like walking into France and you don't understand their language.
Exactly.
It's a foreign world.
Yeah.
That's
So if
powerful.
you don't have relationship, you can't understand
Yes.
what to do in his presence.
Absolutely.
You don't
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes.
Now listen,
So
this is the
powerful.
last thing. Now we do
know.
this.
This one over here in the
Which one?
Jonathan Nelson.
I do this to every guest. We've been doing this for like 3 years.
Oh,
now
here
you
we
can
go.
kick me off camera. Don't kick me in front of these people, and then they see me crying.
y'all put the camera down at my feet so I can kick.
This is what we do to every praise and worship person that comes on here on our
Okay.
after party exclusive interviews. We ask them for 15 seconds.
A snippet.
song.
Snippet.
What?
15 seconds. And I even saying which no, they're gonna cut it. Can you give us 15?
What a clock at? What a clock at?
I'ma tell you.
We go by a clock at Newburgh. What a clock?
The
Oh.
clock is up there. Just imagine.
What a fellowship, what a joy divine. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms, leaning, because I'm leaning on the everlasting arms.
Praise all in my feet, and I just can't keep my seat.